So you might be wondering, Tony, have you ever had any dangerous situations? Well, you know the truth? There's not a trip that goes by where my life is not within inch of being lost. Nah, I made that up. But I have had some dangerous moments. Tirana, Albania. Every day the nuns would go out and go among the people on the street and see if there was some good that they could do. One day, one of the nuns came back with a kind of very crazy looking guy. Must have been homeless. I mean, I would be probably crazy if I had lived homelessly too, but this guy's got this look of crazed. And she brings him in, she says, look, Tony, have him strip and take a shower. I'm gonna go get some clothes. I'm thinking, I don't think so. I'm not gonna ignore the nun's request, but I wasn't gonna strip him. I'm like, okay, hi, how you doing? And he starts screaming at me, crazed. I mean, menacing. And it's like, sister, get back here, sister, get back here. And he goes on and on and on, and it's like the venom pouring out of him. It's like, it's very scary, to say the least. And I said, sister, what is he saying? And she's like, he's saying that he's going to spill every last drop of your blood right here. And then she calmly says, best you should go. Don't have to tell me twice. Then another day, the nun said, Tony, you and I, we're gonna take all the girls and all the kids to the park to play downtown. So we're walking along the street, there's all these kids, and it's me and a couple of nuns actually. And one of the nuns cozies up to me at one point and says, you see those men over there? They're plotting to kidnap one of our kids, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, right in front of me. I said, sister, I'm on it. And they stayed with us the whole way to the park, shadowing us the whole way. We get to the park, they're still nearby. And I'm like, just keeping an eye, real strong. And we're there at the park for a couple hours, and then the nuns say, go back to the house, go back to the compound, and get the van, and we'll put everybody in it and get out. I'm thinking, I'm the only reason that they're not kidnapping her and you want me to leave now. But I learned that these nuns cannot be argued with. So I did what I was requested. And then a problem came up. I was so busy keeping an eye on her, I had no idea how to get back to the compound. But somehow I found a way. And got the van and picked everybody up. But it was kind of scary. The time I almost physically died happened in Nicaragua, in the waters of the Pacific Ocean off the coast. It's 100 degrees in Nicaragua and miserable, and the ocean is like bathwater, and it's so amazing. But didn't have any idea that there was an undertow at this particular spot. I don't really swim. I never really got the swimming thing down. I know I was supposed to, but I never did. And I never go in water that is where I can't touch the bottom. And here I am getting swept out further and further. I'm starting to panic. I wave to the people I know on the shore. They're waving back, thinking I'm just being friendly. And I know that with an undertow, you're supposed to just go with it, and eventually it brings you back. Except I'm getting sucked out further and further, and I feel like I'm halfway to Hawaii. And I'm starting to panic. It's got, God knows how deep it is. At the point where I offer up like a little prayer of like a major prayer of like, if this is not how it ends for me, get involved. Somehow, I swam my way back in. And that was a good, but I almost died. Nicaragua is currently controlled by a dictator who has brought in troops, paramilitary from other socialist nations. And one day at my park this summer, the kids, hundreds of kids gathered to play and watch soccer on a Sunday morning. And an open truck like this came down the street, and these men in masks and black uniforms and their rifles raised come down, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I really thought there was a chance if they were going to spray the field with bullets, I was standing in between them and these kids, and maybe I'd take a few bullets and save a few kids. Luckily, they were just standing there being menacing, and they drove off. But that was the scary moment. And then there will always be my friends, the drug dealers in Nicaragua. One summer I go and I find out that my community is completely infested with drug dealers. They were everywhere, and I'm like, we have to deal with this. I talked to people in the community. I had a little meeting, and some of them said, you know, they're not that bad. And I'm like, really? Well, has anybody talked to them? No. I want to talk to the drug dealers. One lady said she knew a number of them. I said, okay, set up a meeting. Friday, 11 a.m., here at the community center. I want to talk to the drug dealers. Now, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought maybe this is the last thing I do on earth. More likely, nobody shows. All of them showed. And because I'm not afraid to deal with people that break the law because I go to jail every Friday, I was able to look them in the eye and just talk to them, get to know them. Make a long story short, they would explain to me that they didn't want to deal drugs. There was no jobs. I know they're not lying. It's a country with 65% unemployment. And I said, well, I can't just say to them, good luck, hope you find a job someday. I ended up getting loans for them to start businesses and get training. And now there's no drug dealers there. But it was a scary moment, especially when I wanted to take their picture. One of them was like, we're not taking no pictures with you, we're drug dealers. Another one said, he's helping us take the picture. So that's this picture. But the time I really felt danger is in the poorest country on earth. I'd gone to East Timor to learn about how my foundation might help the poorest people on earth. And while I was there, oh, here it is. This is it. They were bringing me around to show me all the projects that I could possibly adopt and sponsor. And in front of us, this truck appears. And my driver turns white. And he's terrified. And I'm like, what's the matter? And he's like, this can't be good. Turns out, they had just had an election. And the people, there's a new country. And the people that fought for their independence were running the country. But as often happens, people that make good soldiers don't make good leaders. And they got voted out. And they weren't having it. So they were gathering their posses to take power back. And what happened was the next day, my hosts there, the NGO that was hosting me, said they just burned down our center in the second largest city. And I'm like, well, you guys are helping them. What else are they gonna do? They're like, exactly. We don't think we can ensure your safety. We're gonna bring you to the one place we think you'll be safe. I'm thinking, the American Embassy? Nope. We're bringing you to this hotel that is owned by the Australians. And because the Australians are respected in this area, you might be safe there. So here I am at this hotel, and it's the most beautiful ocean paradise, island paradise, my God. The winds are blowing off the ocean. Blue sky was exactly that blue. But yet, I'm hearing bombs, explosions, gunfire, broken glass for days. And it was just really kind of scary because I really didn't think I was going to be safe there. But that's what they thought. One day, after a couple of days of this, they pull up the truck and they say, we just secured the airport. And we think we can get you out of here. There's only one flight leaving for Bali. You gotta go. So that's how that ended. Except it didn't end that way. Online at the airport, there's a box in front of me. Piece of luggage from somebody. And the address on it is 3 blocks from where I live in Queens Village. Turns out, there was a woman there who was a volunteer for the UN who was monitoring the election, and she lives 3 blocks from me. And then she had the seat next to me, and I'm thinking, what an amazing way to meet my soulmate. What an incredible story for us to tell people. Sorry to report there was absolutely no chemistry whatsoever. Never saw her again, never wanted to see her again. That was it.